welcome to yet another exciting edition of Trendz Travel. As usual, I'm your host, Louise Scoble, and we are officially in the 8th month of the year. That means we are celebrating all things women. So to all you fabulous females out there, we'd love to wish you an awesome, tabulous Women's Month. Now, good home-style cooking has always been synonymous with the matriarchs of our society, and Nadia got a taste of that as well as some culinary storytelling with Eunice Rakele Molefe.
Food always sparks great conversation. In the olden days, the elders would gather the whole family and share stories, pearls of wisdom and folklore at the dinner table or around the fire. Today, the same concept has been adopted by this fine dining restaurant, working with a brilliant storyteller, Eunice Molefe. Eunice tells the African food story through hosting dining tables at distinctive cultural heritage eateries, bringing to light the neglected aspects of African cuisine.
By background, Nadia, I'm a former restaurant owner and I retired in 2012. But the whole idea of the storytelling started in 2012 whilst I was still running the business. And I was trying to just write a cookbook, an ordinary cookbook. And as I was doing research, I discovered that a lot of the information that I was getting about African cuisine was not written by Africans themselves. And then I became a little bit edgy. Then, because it was a pictorial book that I wanted to do, I said, okay, let me see if from the pictures I can get Africans telling their stories through pictures. I remember very well I was looking for a picture of a butcher because in the book I talk about meat as our main ingredient. So I wanted a picture of a butcher. And all the pictures that were on the internet, there were pictures of, those butchers where things are done in the hostels where there's no hygiene. Then I realized, you know what? Forget about the pictorial book, Eunice. Just do research and come up with a story. So I started then, it was in 2012. So for 7 years I did the research.
Oh, wow.
And then I came up with this. Then I thought, okay, the book is here, but how do I make sure that really I conscientize people to say, people, we say we serve African cuisine, we are African, but we don't know anything. There's nothing documented about African cuisine. So I started going around the heritage site and doing storytelling. And I discovered we can only talk to people nicely over a good meal, over a glass of wine, over a glass of khemere, because you did taste our khemere. So that's how it started, the whole storytelling. And and so I've been doing it since 2013, the storytelling. When it started, it was even a new concept for myself, so it was difficult. But as time went on, what really gave the whole concept success, it's when I began to partner with restaurants that were authentic, and hence we are here at Chief's Boma, because Chief's Boma are very authentic in the meals that they serve in their menu. So when I started working with authentic people and they would eat the food and I would tell stories about the food that they've eaten, then it started running well. So here at Chief's Boma, I've been doing this for 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the future, are we seeing another book? What is happening in the future?
I said to myself, Nadia, because I spent 12 years doing research, I'm going to spend the next 7 years just telling the people about culinary heritage, making sure that we know what is the definition of authentic South African cuisine and what is traditional food, what is indigenous food. So sadly no, because I really want to spend the last years of my life just talking to people about our heritage.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you in a good space? Are you happy? Have you achieved your goal?
I am. As we can see, I am. I'm very, very happy. Nadia, it's strange that you ask me that. I'm 63. I have never been as happy as I am.
totally stuffed from all that game meat, we sat around the fire for some storytelling.
Views, views, and some more views. Parys welcomes you with its retro architecture that resembles those that you only find in period films. This tourist destination guarantees endless adventure.
Trendy travelers, welcome to beautiful sunsets and breathtaking views. Welcome to Parys. Trendy travelers, today you are in Parys. Note, I did not say Paris, you are in Parys. This place is in the Free State and all the travelers meet right here. It also promises to have a lot of adventure, so I've decided to be flexible because I really don't know what my day is going to look like, but I look forward to doing a lot of things today. So let's go have fun.
Hi Pauline.
How are you?
Welcome to Stonehenge.
Thank you for having me, Stephen.
Yeah.
What's going to be happening today and what is Stonehenge about?
Stonehenge is about conferencing, it is about leisure, it's about weddings. It is a beautiful venue just 6 kilometers outside of Parys. But I'll show you around and you will see what we have.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Good.
Let's do that. What kind of activities happen here generally?
Okay. Yeah, Stonehenge is basically a conference venue. We do a lot of conferences. We also do lots of leisure, and you've seen the place. It is beautiful. We do weddings, a lot of weddings. People come here, they look at the place, and they say, "This is the place where I want to be." And the one event that is coming up very, very soon on the 24th of August is an event that we call All Things Adventures.
So what happens when one attends an event like that?
Like All Things Adventures? Well, All Things Adventures is a one-day event where we have 7 activities happening on this premises in one day. It's on the 24th of August.
This historical site offers the thrill of abseiling on solid rock. And if you feel like taking this experience to the extreme, you can head straight from the top all the way into the water.
Basically, this is it's called Leeukoppie, and it was a mining site in the 70s and 80s where they took all this granite from, and it's called the Parys pink granite. It's called that because when you polish it up, it's got this nice pinkish a greyish color, so it's not like your darker marble. Okay, so this is where they mined for it, and obviously if you look in the distance you can still see some of the slabs lying around and other spots where they started to mine. So when this area was the paperwork was being done for a World Heritage site, obviously all activity had to be ceased in the area and things like that. So all the mountains that you see around here is called the Vredefort Dome World Heritage Site, and this is actually the world's largest meteorite crater. Stone Adventures, we are an adventure company that we invite people to come and step outside of their comfort zone. We do anything from abseiling, we outsource skydiving, we do hot air ballooning, there's quad biking in the area, there's zip lining, there's rafting, there's paintball, and all sorts of team building activities.
That's not completely true.
Abseiling seemed like a definite yes for me until I hit the edge of the cliff and the not so brave part of me refused to let me complete the task. Those around me had a blast and I was green with envy.
The abseiling that we did today,
Yes.
was it the longest one?
No. So the one that you were doing was the 13-meter one, from the top there where the frame was to the first drop, just below those dark rocks. So our second one is actually a 44-meter. So if you go a little bit down to those trees there, that's where you abseil from all the way down to the water, to the edge of the water.
Parys adventure is one that never ends. From abseiling, we headed over to the town's longest zip lining track. Here, there was no turning back for me. The sunsets here are to die for. The perfect time to go fly fishing is right at this moment, when the sun colors the water fiery gold with its rays and the mountain gives you the stark contrast of the clear blue sky. As I learned how to fly fish, I was taken by the sound of the river that seemed to be on a journey 1,000 miles from here.
There is so much more coming up after the break. We'd like to remind you that you can catch us on Twitter and on Instagram. That's on Trendz and SABC using the hashtag SABC News. Coming up next, we take you on a very Bollywood experience with the Kathak rockers who are fusing traditional Indian dance with a modern twist.
Ganeshaya Namaha Om Vinayakaya Namaha Om Vignaraja.
Vibrant and intensely colorful, this classic fusion-style Kathak dance is set to bring the heat to South Africa. With the globally acclaimed Kathak rockers and hosted by Johannesburg-based Jazzy Masala Creative, the tour offers dance aficionados and those who relish in being immersed in different cultural experiences the opportunity to witness electrifying Indian dance fusion performances.
Kathak basically is an Indian art form, and it's very, very intricate. The hand movements, the footworks, the bells, the smallest details, and we know it's to be very disciplined as well. What I think is very, very encouraging for us as South African Indians as well is that we've got a platform for the very first time to perform alongside some international artists. I mean, we've seen some amazing stuff from the Kathak rockers, and one would have thought that, okay, something like this wouldn't go down mainstream, but everyone has to check this out.
Led by Kumar Sharma from India and Svetlana Tulasi from Russia, Kathak Rockers offers the audience a spectacular interpretation of Kathak, one of the major forms of Indian classic dance, as witnessed on multiple platforms. Kathak Rockers inject contemporary energy and passion into this historic dance form. Every hand gesture has a meaning, and every move forms part of the full story.
It is a story, and that particular story was based on the Hindu god Krishna as well as Radha, and they were basically the Romeo and Juliet, if you want to call it, in the epic times. And the motions is so intricate. I mean, the expression is what it is, and it gives the audience a feel as to the emotions that's with it. I mean, the facial expressions, you don't understand the language, but you'll understand the emotions that go with it. So it's very strict in that sense as well. You've got to feel that. All five senses has to work for you to appreciate Kathak in the story form.
Although a unisex art form now, it hasn't always been this way.
If you also go back, you find a lot of men that would do it, because years and years and years ago, if a woman had to do a dance, she wasn't looked at in a very high standard. So it was the men that had to perform. They would have dressed up as women and had those moves. So like you would see a guy doing very feminine kind of moves and expressions and all that, it's for that reason. But I think we're so blessed to have passed that particular obstacle, if you want to call it, and everyone just enjoys it. It's become so mainstream.
Because he loves to teach and wants everyone to share in the joy of Kathak, Kumar stops every so often to give a lesson.
First of all, Upach, a very important part of Kathak. We call it matching the feet with the beats. We have a clock of 16, not 12. I would like you to count with us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He explained the different moves, the basics, like the counting. Today, I'm just spellbound by how that has got fused with the contemporary Bollywood stuff as well as the Western music. So it's amazing to see that collaboration.
How are you celebrating Women's Month? Who is spoiling you? Or if not, how are you spoiling yourself? Why not let us know on Trendz on SABC. Use the hashtag SABC News. That's on Twitter and on Instagram.
I went back to Lanseria to try out something new, beer tasting.
We're at the place to be. This is our in-house restaurant at Lanseria Country Estate. What we're going to do today is show you one of our unique features that we have here in the restaurant, which is our tasting trays. Our tasting trays we have available in gin, wine and beer, so there's something for everybody. We want to take you through the beer tasting tray first today. Yeah, I think this is very popular. It's a craft beer tray. It comes from a brewery in Kaya Sands called Agars. They're well acclaimed and their beers are really top notch as far as craft beers go. All right, so we've got our tray here, which consists of 8 craft beers. Okay, we're going to start here with a wild berry ale and work our way around the tray. It's important to keep in order, because as we go the flavor builds up, and if you have the wrong beer first, then you don't get the full taste of the next one.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with each beer we've got a pairing. A lot of hard work went into this pairing exercise, many afternoons sitting, slaving over many ingredients and many beers to come to the formula that we've come up now. So basically each beer is paired with something from pickles, chocolate, blue cheese. We've got some nuts, we've got some cheesy pork grillers, we've got some butter chicken curry, and then we've got different flavors of chocolate as well. So our patrons come here, some of them have a lot of fun, they mix up the different pairings and they try and make something different for themselves. So it's all about the experience, and really the beer is top notch. So once you've had the tray, you can choose your favorite beer. So let's start with the wild berry. The wild berry is basically a refreshing summer ale, and we've decided to pair this with pickles. Now, you wouldn't think that pickles go with beer. However, when you taste the two together, you get an amazing experience. So the best thing to do is first take a sip of the actual beer. You get that taste in your mouth, and then try a pickle. And you can just taste how those two flavors melt together in your mouth. Have a go.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, it's actually a real beer, but it's brewed with berries, as opposed to, it's not a fizzy kind of fruit drink. It's an actual beer gone through the whole 6-week brewing process, and comes up with a great result, I think.
Yeah.
Our next beer that we're going to look at is our Josie Blonde. Okay. This is probably your entry-level craft beer. So someone who's used to drinking your SAB beers and your non-craft beers, if they're going to come and try a craft beer, I would suggest this is the first one they go for. It's one of the first beers that Agar's brewed, and it's been paired with a chili chocolate.
Chili chocolate?
Chili chocolate, yeah.
Okay.
So you have a taste first. But it's so early in the morning. And those two go really, really well together.
So what happens if I start with the chocolate and not the beer? Do I
No,
not get
you
the same result?
have a taste the chocolate, have the beer, go back to the chocolate, go backwards and forwards. Have fun, that's what it's
Same
all about.
result. Okay. Chocolate.
Does that get you going?
Interesting flavors. Let's move on.
What are your thoughts on that one?
That was very bitter.
Bitter. I think when you do pairing, sometimes it's about the flavors complementing each other, and other times it's about them contrasting each other. So sometimes it's the bitter and the sweet together, and other times it's the two sweets that go together. So it's an experience, and that's what it is. And when you get to the blue cheese, obviously you're going to have those flavors to deal with as well. The next beer we're looking at is a golden ale. Okay, this is one of my favorite beers. Okay. It's not heavy, but it's got a very strong citrus and hops taste to it. We'll get to the IPA near the end, which is like a 7% beer, so it's quite a strong one. And it's also got that hops flavor. This is a lighter version of the IPA, but it also has that citrus taste to it. Okay, so that is paired with the blue cheese. Okay, you can taste the hops and you can taste the citrus. And now when you pair it with the blue cheese, what do you get out of that?
I like this one.
Great.
I like this more than this.
That's it. That means you got an acquired taste.
Okay, so which one are we moving on to now?
We're going to move on to the American Pale Ale. This one also has got a strong hoppy flavor to it, but there's a bready malt background to the beer as well. And this one we've got paired with this cheese griller. And the idea is that the cheese griller, the fat, will cut through the citrus and hops taste in the beer itself. Okay, we'll give it a try.
Sure.
Also one of my favorite beers. Okay, and then together with the cheese griller, have a go.
Aren't pale ales German?
Well, this is American Pale Ale. So you get a pale ale, you get an Indian pale ale, you get American pale ale. Not all American pale ales are made in America. Obviously, it's a name given to the type of beer. You feel how that cuts through the...
It's a very strong beer. Very strong.
Not that strong.
I think the hops and the citrus makes it very strong, but nope, not for me. Next.
Okay, the next one we're going to have is the Indian Pale Ale. Okay, so this one is it's a delicious beer. I'm saying this one is probably one of your heavier beers, but the pairing here is with a butter chicken curry, which is one of the items on our menu in the restaurant. A lot of people love our butter chicken curry, and at the moment we've actually took it off because now we've got a tikka masala in its place, and we have a lot of people asking about it. But it will come back. But they make a great pairing again, and it's again a case of hops and the fattiness of the chicken and the curry versus the flavor in the the IPA, the hops and the strength. So have that. You see, taking a big gulp of the strawberry, and then taste that butter chicken curry with it. You like that one?
Very, very strong beer.
So we've been right round the circle now, tasted all the beers. As I said, we've got it, our tray we use journeys and wines as well, so we have it in wines. And that's a whole experience on its own too for the wine connoisseur. Journey's End is on Sir Lowry's Pass, just outside of Gordon's Bay, on the other coast, up the north coast of Cape, from the Cape. And yeah, so we only stock their wines. We have 11 of their wines, and we've got 8 of them in the tray too. And they're also a whole separate pairing exercise.
So everything is proudly South African.
That's it.
Cool.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Ivan.
It's a pleasure.
Nice.
Good.
And that's all we have here in this edition of Trendz Travel. As usual, I was your host, Eloise Scoble, and I'd like to remind you to celebrate your womanhood every single day. See you again next week.